Everyone, 12th class business studies chapter 5, and last topic we did organizational structure and its types, and in that we studied about functional structure and the divisional structure. So today I'm going to start with the topic delegation of authority. It's a very important topic. If a question comes from this chapter either on delegation or decentralization, two interrelated concept, or on functional or divisional structure, two interrelated concepts again. Okay, so these two topics are very confusing topics. Even if you are not able to understand the concept, then you must not be able to crack the case study. Okay, so delegation of authority, little bit we started in the previous class, but still I'm going to explain it again. So a manager, no matter how capable he is, cannot manage to do every task. You know it very well that a single person cannot be expert, cannot be professional in performing all type of task is on his own. So every time he needs some helps, and sometimes he also feels overburdened because just because of many tasks he has to perform, so he is overburdened, which makes it impractical for him to handle all the tasks himself. So in order to ensure that all work is accomplished on time, and we can say to be effective and efficient, and if he wants that the organizational goals are easily achieved, then he must delegate his authority. Delegate of authority means sharing of his authority with his subordinates, not the main task authority, only the simple authority, which that type of task which can be performed by any of the employees, in which special skills are not required. Okay, so delegation refers to transfer of authority or shifting of authority from superior to subordinate, entrustment of responsibility, and creation of accountability. Actually, these three are the elements which we will be discussing in the same part of the chapter: authority, responsibility, and accountability. Okay, so it means entrustment, transferring of the authority. Transferring of authority means giving his authority to his or her subordinates. Entrustment of responsibility means when we are giving the authority, then there must be responsibility. Some responsibility must be attached with that authority. Already we have studied in principles of management, parity in between authority and responsibility. If we have given only the authority without any responsibility, then it may lead to the misuse of the authority. And creation of the accountability for performance, which helps a manager to extend his area of operation. What does this line mean? Extend his area of operation. It means if he is transferring some part of the authority to his subordinates, then he must be able to focus on his core activities. And in this manner, he must be able to expand his area of operations, means he will be able to perform more core tasks. He will be able to concentrate more on performing the core task. So this is the case study breaking line, extending the area of operations. If the authority is granted to extend the area of operation, then it is always delegation. Okay, so delegation, but here one thing you have to consider, that giving your authority to someone else does not mean abdication. Delegation does not mean abdication. It's a very important 3-marker question. Delegation does not mean abdication. What does abdication mean? Abdication means give up. It means when a manager delegates his authority to the subordinates, then the accountability lies with him only. Suppose a CA was having a task of preparation of balance sheet. So it is actually his task to prepare that balance sheet. But he was overburdened with some other type of task in analysis of the financial statement or some any other task. He was busy on that particular day. But on that day, he has to finish the work of balance sheet. So what he can do, he can give this task to his subordinate who may be an accountant, senior accountant, and he can give the authority regarding to the reach to the books of account of the business so that he is able to make the balance sheet. authority, he has assigned him responsibility that he has to prepare the balance sheet, and he has also given him account authority so that he is able to take the books of account to prepare that balance sheet. But now suppose by the end of the day, due to his inefficiency or any of the reason, the senior accountant was not able to prepare or to complete the balance sheet work. So in that case, if the boss or the owner ask from CA that whether he has not why he has not completed the given task, then CA cannot blame his subordinate. That he cannot say that I have assigned the task to him and he was not able. So it means if we are giving our task to someone else, but still the person whose task was is this is responsible, means he cannot transfer his accountability. He cannot say that I don't know, my accountant has not completed the task. He cannot say like this. That's why I'm telling you, delegation does not means abdication. Means after transferring the authority to someone else, the person will be responsible, will be accountable for completing that particular task. Okay. Now suppose, let's take a very simple example. Our academic in charge or supervisor has given any task to me. So I need to complete that task, but due to overburden, I was assigned this task to any one of student of your class, any one student on whom I have trust, and I know her capability, his or her capability, that he or she can perform that task. So I have assigned that task to him. But by the end of the school time, that particular student was not able to do that task, was not able to complete that task. So it means my task was not completed. When I will be questioned by the in charge, so by the academic supervisor, that I cannot deny my accountability. I cannot say that I have given the task to that particular student and that particular student has not completed the given task. It means if I am giving my task to someone, if I'm giving my authority to someone, so I'm just sharing my authority. I cannot blame that person. I am still accountable. So this is known as principle of abdication. So delegation does not mean abdication. In delegation, accountability lies with the delegator. There are two persons in the process of delegation, delegatee and the delegator. Delegator is the person who grants the authority to someone else, and delegatee is the person who actually receives the authority to get the work, assigned work done. Okay, so this is all about delegation, and here one thing you have to keep in mind, that delegation does not mean abdication. And one more important line is here in the delegation, that it is a prerequisite to the efficient functioning of an organization. Prerequisite means it is required in every organization. No organization can perform the task, can do the work without delegation, because single person cannot do whole of the task, so he has to share his work with others. So it is the prerequisite to the efficient functioning of an organization, because it enables a manager to use his valuable time on high priority activities. If the manager is not granting his day to day or routine task to his subordinates, then he will be stuck in doing that routine task only. He will not be able to focus on the core activity or the important task. So delegation is the result of human limitation to the span of management. Yes, span of management or span of control we have already studied. There is a limitation to the span of management. So beyond that limit, each and every work we for doing each and every work we has to take help from others. Who are the others? Subordinate. We have to share our task with the subordinates. On one hand side, it is reducing the workload of the authority or of the superior. On other hand side, it is also satisfying the subordinates need, because when they will be getting the chance to do the work of his boss, then it will give them self satisfaction, it will be giving them recognition. Recognition means in the whole of the organization there will be a reputation for him, because every time his boss is giving his task to that particular employee, so there will be a great feeling of self satisfaction and status in his mind, and provide them with opportunities to develop and exercise initiative, and they will start taking initiatives. means start giving their suggestions, ideas to the superior, as well as it will also help them to get more chances of the promotion, because he will be expert in doing his boss or his superior task. So there will be chances for his promotion also. Okay, so top level delegates to middle level delegates to lower level, and lower level, whatever they want to get the task done, they are giving it to the lower level workers. So highest authority is at the top level, and the authority goes downwards. The extent of authority always decreasing. Highest authority lies at the top levels. Okay, and authority always moves downwards. Next. So this I have already explained. Delegation of authority, process of entrusting responsibility and authority to the subordinates and creating accountability on those employees who are entrusted responsibility and authority. So now the elements of delegation, which is also known as process of delegation. Okay, elements or process of delegation. So in delegation, what we are doing, it is the entrustment of responsibility and authority to another. We are giving authority as well as responsibility to another. Another means our subordinate. And the creation of accountability. Accountability is created for performance. These are three elements of delegation. This is actually the process as well as the elements: authority, responsibility, and accountability. These are very important three elements from one marker point of view, as well as for the case study. Authority. Okay, so authority means right, right to give commands, right to give orders. Like as a teacher, I am having an authority to give you commands. Okay, so authority basically is the power. Power lies with the position. If you are at that position, only then the power is with you. Like prime minister is having an authority to act like a prime minister, to take all the decisions as a prime minister, but that authority is not with a particular person. That authority lies always with a particular position. So whosoever is at that position, that person will be having that authority. So basically authority means power to take decisions, power to give command, power to give orders. It is the right to initiate commands and issue orders. The person who will be having the authority can issue orders to the subordinates. To carry on the responsibilities, every employee needs to have some authorities. This we have already studied in principal chapter, that if we are having only the responsibilities, not the authorities, then we will not be able to fulfill the authorities to responsibilities. For example, as a salesman, you have to sell 100 units in a day. So this is your responsibility. But you are not authorized to finalize the deal. You are not authorized to offer the discount. You are not authorized to give the offers to the customer. So in this manner, you are assigned the responsibility, but the related authority is not granted to you. It means if any responsibility is assigned, then related authority must be granted for the fulfillment of that responsibility. Otherwise, responsibility cannot be fulfilled. Like as a salesman, you have got the responsibility for selling 100 units in a day, then you must be granted authority to take all the decisions regarding that sale, all the decisions within the prescribed limit, and that limit is the sale regarding decision. So whatever the decision to make the sale happen, you can take, you must be authorized for that. Again and again, you need not to ask from your superior that the customer is asking for 10% discount, should I grant him? No, because you were given the responsibility to sell the product. So keeping in mind the firm's policy, like the firm policy is no discount at all, so in that case you cannot ignore the firm policy, you cannot give him discount. So keeping in mind the firm's policy, firm's rules and decision, regulations, firm's procedures, you can take all the decisions. So this is all about the authority. And whenever you are going to explain the authority, this diagram you can make. Many times I told you that in business studies, what is important? Diagrammatic presentation is important. So if you are presenting the things in diagrammatically, then you must be getting good marks. Okay. So next is the responsibility. Responsibility means obligation. Responsibility means obligation. Obligation of what? Obligation to complete the given task. Obligation to complete the given task. So whatever the duty is assigned to you, you are responsible to complete that task. Okay. It arises from a superior subordinate relationship. It arises from a superior subordinate relationship, because wherever there is a superior subordinate relationship, then then the subordinate is bound to perform the duty assigned to him by his superior. Thus, responsibility flows upwards. Responsibility flows upwards. The responsibility means the superior is responsible. Sorry, subordinate is responsible to his superior to complete the given task. So there must be this thing we have already studied, that there must be a parity in between authority and responsibility. Parity means there must be a balance. Authority and responsibility must go hand in hand. There must be a balance in between authority and responsibility. If more authority is there and less responsibility is there, then the authority can be misused, and in the vice versa case, the given task cannot be completed. So responsibility flows downwards and responsibility flows upwards and authority flows downwards. Third element, accountability. Accountability means answerability for the final outcomes of the assigned task. Answerability of the final outcomes of the assigned task means after the stipulated time period, you are accountable. Suppose 1 month was given to you to complete the given task. So at the end of the 1 month, you are accountable. Accountable means you are answerable to your superior that whether you have completed the given task or not. Accountability means reporting. You need to report to your boss. So accountability implies being answerable for the final outcome. Once authority has been delegated and responsibility accepted, one cannot deny accountability. Accountability flows upwards. Subordinate will be accountable to the superior. So just like responsibility flows upwards. So some students may get confused in responsibility and accountability. So responsibility means only the duty to complete the task, and accountability means after the time given to complete the task, we have to report. We have to give the answer to the boss whether the task is completed or not. If not, then what are the reasons behind why you were not able to complete the given task. You are answerable for that. It is generally enforced through regular feedback on the extent of work accomplished. So in some of the organization, you are not only answerable only at the completion of the task. On daily basis, you have to submit your report of 1 day report, that what you have done today. So subordinate will be expected to explain the consequences of his actions or omissions. So if he was not able to achieve the target, then he need to explain the consequences of his actions or omissions. Accountability cannot be delegated. Remember this thing. Authority can be delegated. Responsibility cannot be entirely delegated. Up to some extent, responsibility lies with the delegator, but accountability cannot be delegated at all. I had given you example of the CA. He was supposed to prepare the balance sheet. He had given this task to his senior accountant, but finally he was accountable only. Why accountability cannot be delegated? Because delegation does not mean abdication. Delegation does not mean abdication. So manager, subordinate, you can see that the assignment of duties, authority we have given, then responsibility. Authority, manager is giving authority to the subordinate, and further responsibility and accountability from subordinate side to the manager side. So accountability flows upward, responsibility also flows upward, and authority flows downward. Okay, so this is the all about the accountability, authority, and responsibility. Now we can take one example. I'm telling you one example. Wait just a minute. Yes, elements of delegation, a comparison. So first we will do the comparison, then I will take one example. So this comparison chart is also very important in exam. Many times this has come for 3 marker. Meaning I have told you all for all the 3 concept meaning: right to command, obligation, answerability. Delegation: authority can be delegated, responsibility cannot be delegated, or cannot be completely delegated, we can say. And accountability cannot be delegated at all. It can never be delegated. Comes from authority, comes from formal position. As I told you in the beginning, authority lies with the position. If you are on a position, then you must be having all the authorities related to that position. Delegated authority, responsibility arises with the authority. If you have given the authority to some person, then it means some responsibilities are also associated with that responsibility. And accountability arises just because of responsibility. Flow: authority flow downward, responsibility flows upward from subordinate to superior, and accountability, answerability, the subordinate is answerable to the superior, so it also flows upward. Now by inculcating all the 3 concepts, I am giving you now one example. Listen it carefully. So you have to tell me the 3 elements. Okay, you can give me your answer in your chat box. So I'm telling you the example. Listen carefully. So in this example, all the 3 elements of the delegation process are there. You tell me that which element is this, in which lines. Okay. A sales manager has to sell 50,000 books of any subject. We can take accountancy, each for class 11th and 12th in the duration of 1 year. He has 5 sales executives under him. He can assign the task of selling 10,000 books each for class 11th and 12th to each sales executive. Total books he has to tell 50,000 for 11th and 12th both, and he has 5 executives under him. Salesman, we can say, salesman under him. So he has given the task of selling 10,000 books to each executive. Now the sales manager should grant the sales executive the authority. What type of authority to the salesman he should give? That the giving free samples of the books to the subject teachers, and also to decide the rate of discount and the credit period within the selling policy of the company. Yes, I told you this thing, that the person must be free to take all the decisions, but related only to the policy, within the policy. Yes, within the policy of the firm. So the salesmen were granted the rights to take the decision regarding the selling period, credit period, discount, and the offer, specimen copies to the teacher. So they can take all these decisions by themselves. So at last, the sales manager remains accountable in case of non-accomplishment of desired target. Okay, so suppose he was not able at the end of the year, he was able to just to sell 40,000 units. So can he blame any salesman for this? First tell me this thing. He was not able to sell 50,000 units. He was able to sell only 40,000 units. Yes, can he blame anyone? No, very much no. Why? Because delegation does not mean abdication. He has just delegated his authority to salesmen that they have to sell. So could you please tell me that 3 elements are present? Responsibility was present. Where? From which line? You can just tell me 1 or 2 words in your chat box. From which line you are able to understand that the responsibility was there? When the, yes, very good. When the sales, yes, very good. When the sales manager assigned the task to the salesmen, yes, 5 executives were assigned to sell 10,000 units each. So that was the responsibility. And where was the authority? Authority, where was the authority? When he granted him rights to take the decisions. Yes, very good. To give free samples, to decide the policy, to decide the discounts and other things. Yes. And finally, the accountability lies with him. Okay, so this is all about delegation. Today we did meaning of delegation, process of delegation, where we studied accountability, authority, and responsibility. Then the